Welcome back, guys, to This Week in Metal for the 28th of the 7th, 2019. I am Super Metal Brother Matt.
And I'm Super Metal Dane.
Danny, been another interesting week right here in the home of metal. We're here to discuss all the news stories that have happened or pertaining to this week alone. And there are some brilliant ones coming up.
Dane.
Butane, I know.
Did you get one of those like word of the day toilet paper rolls and you're like,
That's
Dane.
right, absolutely. And I've had a lot of Mexican food lately, so I've been going through that bad boy like it owes me money. Nevertheless, let's go straight into it, Danny, with the news story to start off with. All news stories, it is Spider-Man now.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that Spider-Man was metal? Well, apparently there were a couple of people in the public art sector that it is.
Yeah, this is a too funny or to be true story. So apparently there's these art exhibition around, I think it was in New York. And they did like 20 or 30 different sculptures. And someone did a sculpture of Spider-Man doing like his Spider-Man shooting web pose. Mm-hmm. And some girl gets all crazy and like writes to the mayor saying, "That's demonic, that's anti-religious,
right.
anti-Catholic, how dare you put this up, blah, 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 blah."
According to Metal Sucks, in an email to Mayor Leroy Gallagher Bard, the woman called the sculpture anti-Christian, demonic, completely inappropriate for the showcase near a family attraction, and said that it constitutes a hate crime for the shirts. It is a sculpture of two hands open, and it is red and black. And everyone knows that Spider-Man was bleeding, and he was sacrificing a virgin at the time of that. Every Spider movie. That's how they always climactic, Danny. Exactly. Church burnings, sacrificing virgins.
Yeah, I see why she got confused. One, probably an idiot, but the other reason was a lot of people these days when they do the metal horns, they leave their thumb out. So I'll show you. They do the whole like thumb out type thing, and that's what Spider-Man's doing. And a lot of us like metalheads don't do the whole thumb thing. So what? It's not the thumb that shouldn't be there. So maybe she saw that as like, oh, maybe she's more offended because that's not the proper way of doing it. You're doing it like the wrong way, and that offends me more so.
I think you'd be more offended that it looks like he's jizzing out of his hands. Like it looks like he's like been caught, and his mum's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, it's metal." Like, "Mum, look, it's Spider-Man." It's like,
I sneezed real hard, and I didn't get my hands up in time.
And everyone knows that in the Christian community, masturbating is illegal. You know, unless you're a priest and you masturbate. And then apparently you just put it under the rug. But Spider-Man, right? Is Spider-Man metal? Can we at least meet her halfway and agree that Spider-Man is metal?
He's probably like an emo kid metal.
If
that counts.
If Peter Parker likes metal, he's in like Die Hard as Murder.
Something like that.
No, even something even more hardcore, like Parkway Drive. No, even more hardcore than that.
Silence.
So there you go.
Yeah, even the biggest ironic thing about this is that the guy was commissioned by, I guess, the town to do this work. 1/3 went to the artist itself, but 2/3 of the money went to a charity, which is actually like a church charity. So this is like, it's so anti-Christian, it makes my head spin. Because, well, 2/3 of the money is going to a Christian church, like community thing. So just reach, and that's what people need to do. They need to stop reacting. It's just like, think about it, lady.
Yeah.
Just take it. And if it is like metal, it's not even like that symbol comes from the old Mediterranean thing about the evil eye. So it's not even like a religious thing.
It's actually there to protect you against evil. So what Spider-Man's doing is doing you a favor. Him with his jizzed hands, he is like warding against evil. So if Carnage or Venom ever come into your city, well, they never will because Spider-Man's there to protect you. So
has Carnage ever come to your city? No. So
no, he hasn't. Well, there you go. But I mean, I think we need Spider-Man's thing in our city. Him jerking off his old spider dick.
No one comes to LA. Carnage is not coming to LA, so I think it's a problem.
Moving on to our next story with Godsmack. The frontman here has just been disappointed and blessed with meeting some of his childhood friends. Now, the guy's name is Sully Erna. If you don't know who Sully Erna is, I suggest check out a track of Godsmack. And he's got a pretty good, strong, powerful voice. And it's probably the best part of Godsmack, I'd imagine, for a lot of people. But he's recently talked with Andy Hall of Des Moines in Iowa. Laser 103.3, and it's a gamble sometimes when you meet your friends and your heroes from music bands. I've just been disappointed as I've been blessed with meeting some of my childhood heroes. I've noticed that there's a real legendary bands, the bands that have every right to be arrogant and egotistical if they wanted to be, as bands other bands are the coolest. So generally, like James Hetfield from Metallica, and when you meet Steve Taylor and Joe Perry from Aerosmith and Neil Peart from Rush, these are the most iconic bands, and they're like the coolest guys.
Cool.
And I think it's the way people treat people in general. And I guess those guys get business. Like, never ever have they ever gone up the thing. And that's why they're so big, because they've never accidentally cut off a bridge or burnt a bridge they were never supposed to, you know? Yeah. They get it. You're cordial in that, man, you're getting headlining for thing. You're an arsehole, chances are you're playing in a pub.
Yeah, unless you're like Mustaine or Axl Rose. And
Yeah, I heard they're a bit of dicks as well.
Yeah, and then you can't do well. But it's true, they said don't meet your heroes. Have you met your heroes before, Matt?
I've met Loomis, and when I thought I'd meet him, I thought, I would gush and be a fanboy. But that actually happened the second time, which would end up being about 4 hours later. I did meet him by a complete freak. I was going to the venue. I was supposed to see him do a guitar thing, and he was super cool, man. And we got there early, came in. He actually had a quick chat for us, and he's like, obviously I have to go warm up. I'm like, of course. Like, what else do gods do? They didn't, strike the thunder from the heavens without doing a bit of wrist lock faction first. Bit
of Spider-Manning.
Bit of Spider-Manning. So I did get to meet Loomis, and I did kind of hope he wasn't a dick, but to me it wouldn't have mattered too much because even if he was a bit of a dick, like, he was tired. He's this bold guy harassing him when he just wanted to do his job. But they write great music, so I get it. I'm never gonna be like, go home, burn the CDs and cut it up. But I am actually a little relieved that he was cool.
Yeah, because it does taint it a bit. If like the guy you love the music, you love the guy's a dick. I don't really want to give this guy money, but his music's great.
Yeah.
I met Symphony X at the airport of all places. We were flying to London, and they were flying to Sydney. We flew from Adelaide to Sydney, and they flew from Melbourne to Sydney for a gig. And we saw him at the airport, so our planes landed pretty much at the same time, which is amazing. I went up to Michael Romeo. He put his hand out and shook. He goes, "Yo, how you doing?" Like,
He was full jersey. You sound nothing like that on the CD, Mr. Romeo and Mr.
Yeah, and then Russ Allen, he just fist bumped. And I'll accept that. So that was cool. So they seemed
I know, because ironically, the guitarist shook your hands, and the singer fist bumped you. It shouldn't have been the other way around, wasn't it?
Yeah, you think so, because but...
Oh, that's my singing hand.
I can't hold a mic.
Let's go. Yeah, it was
Or
pretty...
maybe that's why his hands are always like, he was like holding a mic.
Yeah.
He's like, RSI.
Exactly.
I can't
Like,
my
he's got
hand.
crippling arthritis, and he's like, I can't do it, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
cried a
that's
little
cool.
bit. He's like, he's gone. And you hum like, but he was massive. That guy was so tall.
Yeah, Russ Allen's like 6 something, and he's a big lad. He could play like...
That's where all that oxygen comes in from his lungs and blows everyone away. That's why he's the best singer of all time.
Yeah, if you
all
can't
to do
get
with his genetics.
Yeah, if you can't get tall, be like Pavarotti and get fat. And he just like goes around your whole chest and gets power.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were good. They were good experiences for us, which is always a good thing.
Joey DeMaio says Manowar had filed a lawsuit against Hellfest organisers. They don't take the S**T from anybody. We're talking about bassist player here, Joey. He said Manowar played at first show. This was just, I think he was just addressing fans on on a video or something.
Yeah, during a concert, he stopped the show and was like, that's it, I'm going to tell you what happened to Hellfest. And he went off, man. But he's like, dropped F-bombs galore. Not a children's show.
So we got 3 paragraphs here, nice and quick. Manowar played our first show in front of 7 people. 7. Okay. One of them was the manager. The other, the bartender. So if somebody says Manowar have to be on a big stage, they have to. No. We have to have our people treated like they deserve. We have to the promoter that honors their agreement and their contracts and doesn't just pick and choose what is going to do and what they want to do. It's effing reality. We signed a contract in blood in 1983. Daddy!
It's like Kiss stuff,
real
man.
blood. And the reason I signed that contract is I wanted to know the Manowar was one of the bands that will never F our fans and never play S music or make our fans eat the S word with our bad sounds, bad lighting, and equipment, which we're thinking we might go, make the mainstream here. So we have to be very careful about the swearing here. I didn't see any of those promoters sign a contract in blood, but they're happy to talk shit to people. There you go, I said the word. There you go.
Yeah, because apparently because they were supposed to do Hellfest, and then Hellfest have come out and said, due to circumstances, Manowar aren't playing. And it kind of made it sound like Manowar wanted certain conditions on the stage, and Hellfest couldn't accommodate those conditions, so they left. But Hellfest, Manowar, like, no, we never left, man. They said this, and we just like, okay, fine, we'll go because we're not getting a spot. So yeah, they're taking legal action. They reckon they got a couple of weeks' time, a month's time, they'll put everything they can on about this whole issue.
Yeah.
So this could be interesting, man. Like, you don't want to upset like a massive festival, but at the same time, if they've screwed you over and you feel like a grievance, well, then stand up for your rights.
That's pretty much right. I mean, you expect with bands like that, and the late band we'll talk about later on with Sabaton and stuff like that. These people, they need the stage. If they haven't got that thing, like Rammstein, could you imagine that? Like, I'm sorry, you can't have that massive pulsating penis on stage, ejaculating sperm in front of the crowd. It's just too expensive,
No room. You can't put a drum.
There's no room. Where are you going to do it? I mean, this is Hellfest. We're kind of loud. We can't have that kind of stuff. We have a dignity and respect for our fans.
Hellfest, we got too much like room taken up by the Spiderman hands. There's no room for that. Actually, that was an interesting article though with Manowar. They actually played in Antarctica recently as well. Apparently, they went like 2,000 people in the city, and 600 people rocked up to Man of War. So
Wow.
they try and come to the point that we'll play anywhere, anytime. We don't
So they
really
got
care.
more fans in the middle of the snow
Yeah.
than they did in an actual concert. Well, there you go. Hellfest, you do have a lot to talk about. Skid Row, the guitarist, was pissed that Rhino remastered debut album from deluxe digital release. It's quite a long one, but Snake here, the guitarist in Skid Row, says, I was really pissed, to be quite honest, that Rhino remastered it because it shouldn't have been remastered. I hate that. I hate when things are done, number one, without your permission. We didn't say so in that. That's the record business. They own your masters. They can remaster if they want, and that's the life they choose. And it's one of the byproducts of signing a record deal. They get to those masters of a minimum of 30 years. They've got them for 31, so they remaster it even though you don't see the point of it. The point is that they're going to make money out of it. I think you should have known this more better than anyone. If they squeeze the lemon until literally the pulp flings out and strikes someone in the eye, that's the way it is with these big ones. So
And what's that gonna cost you?
Sorry. Yeah, and that's the reality of the situation here. You know, these labels are just going to squeeze the lemon as best they can. If you don't like lemons and oranges, if not that, you know, the band's penis, you know, until any sorts of money grabbing semen comes out of it, and then they're like, wow, and it's too sicky to even move.
That's actually clever, like analogy, because then they squeeze it out until the lifeblood comes out, and they make more stuff out of it.
Yeah.
So that actually was quite.
But the
clever.
problem is, like you said, these people had a direction for their music, and they're like, this is the way I want it to sound, and that's the way it is, for better or worse. You know, people are going to love it and hate it, but that's the way the band envisions it. And the label's like, but just not enough money if you re-release it to get those other fans back into it. And here we are talking about it on this podcast.
Yeah, but not just that. Like the real loyal fans would be like, "Oh, there's a new album. I've got to buy this new album," because they're not releasing new material. So, like, yeah, I'll just buy the new remastered version. So easy money. No one has to do anything. And what does remaster actually mean? I don't really know.
Well, I mean, there are good reasons to remaster it. With the Nevermore album, Enemies of Reality, that was actually done by a pop artist, a pop engineer, rock engineer, and he completely butchered that album. Anyone who owns the original copy can attribute that the remaster version done by producer Steve Smith, long veteran of the band, actually did their album Dead Heart in a Dead World. And the Godless Endeavor, he did those albums, and you can see the production values. And when you hear that, you straight away know that this is the ultimate album to buy. So if you're going to buy any album from Nevermore, this is the one you get. So I do see reasons for doing it, like that the band was tied to a shitty label who got them to do a shitty release, and then they're like, no, that's bad. Let's do it again with someone who will do the songs justice. But this is the other way around. The band was happy with it, you know. So.
Yeah, obviously they got successful off it because people liked it. So yeah, I think it was a cash grab. But talking about Justice, have they remastered Justice for All? 'Cause apparently you can't hit a bass on it. Have they? Is that talk that they're gonna do it, or they have done it?
They might have. I mean, someone on YouTube would have done it by now anyway. But I have no idea. We'll move on though to our next story. With Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody has surpassed 1 billion views on YouTube, and everyone knows that being on YouTube is where the money is at, or if they're seeing any money, these guys have got it. The guitarist, obviously Brian May, and Roger Taylor on drums come out with a tweet, I think it was, or just a thing coming out, a statement. We are honoured that Bohemian Rhapsody just hit 1 billion views on YouTube. We want to thank you and celebrate with our amazing fans all around the world by creating 3 new music videos to our songs, all featuring you. Whether you go a musician, singer, dancer, visual artist, and want to have some fun, go to www.youarethechampions.com to find out, and we'll see you on the road sometime. Danny, there you go. Getting the fans to do the work for them. That's how a big band does it. You know, why do you need to have budgets for a film clip? All that hard thing, like thinking about locations and that, when you're fans. And these are fans will happily do it for you.
Yeah. So they're remastering the film clips using their fans' time and energy.
Exactly right.
But Billy, imagine how much money they get for like 1 billion plays on YouTube. Because after 10,000 plays, you start getting paid money?
I think so. I mean, they're probably getting paid what a normal musician should be entitled to, just on YouTube alone, let alone all the other stuff. But I don't know. Well, I mean, good for them. I mean, it's a good song. You know, it's not their best song, but it's a good song.
There's a couple billion songs now. November Rain, I think, hit 1 billion. Last year. I think these guys, it's probably a pop song, probably Michael Jackson or Beyonce songs, probably hit billions as well, probably Taylor Swift as well. So, yeah, it doesn't mean it's a good song. No, it just means billions people want to play it.
Well, that's the thing, you know, with that, I mean, how many people and families have been fed, I guess, with all that YouTube credits? Probably Queens. That's about it.
Just those producers, how much money those guys have. Dang.
It's scary. It's very scary. Dad took son with Cerebral Palsy to over 1,000 metal shows. As you can see, normally on our show, we like to do Metal Head of the Week. Obviously, this dad has got it. His name is Richard McDeed. He did a great deed for his son, Masson.
Oh, well played.
You're welcome. And what the quote is here is that he would simply non-stop, so I put him in a chair and turned on the Metallica Binge and Purge VHS tape. That's what Richard was saying, explaining the initial discovery that his son cries when soothed by heavy metal. That's very, very nice thought. A few minutes later, I was washing the dishes and noticed he stopped crying. When he continued after it started happening in the car, whenever Metallica was on, he would calm down and relax. At first, I thought Metallica grew in other bands as he learned to recognize them, and instantly he responded and grew from there, Danny. So Metallica as a way of soothing and calming down a person. Interesting.
It's probably the opposite they were going for. But yeah, hey, that's great. This poor lad obviously suffers a condition which is not great, and
he must be listening to the early stuff, because the later stuff I can only imagine would cry even louder. I mean, the snare sound would obviously not do him any.
I think he'd be like, "Well, I'm too early Metallica, man. This is terrible. What's happened lately?"
Yeah, exactly. So
that's a good story.
They probably never showed him. It's like this is the albums you like, and he's got the and Master of Puppets album on, Justice for All album, and that's where it starts and ends for him.
Yeah, so this guy's done very well. 1,200 shows he's taken his son to. That's fantastic.
That's
I think
ridiculous.
this is the second show he's doing in, I think, his hometown, and I guess the money raised goes towards.
I can only imagine Metallica's going to get wind of this story and then basically launch off of them, give me a free show, free guitar or something. And that kind of thing.
Come on, they gotta give something.
Do something.
Auction off a bit of merchandise or something.
Help them out a little bit.
But that's off the back of that thing happened last week where the I think the guy Cerebral Palsy or muscular dystrophy or something that was in the wheelchair, and they'll crowd everything him through. I think it's like a trivium gig or something, and they actually made our mainstream gig in Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, they didn't say it was a metal gig. They said it was a rock gig because they can't give.
They couldn't do it. That was so annoying.
Any credit.
No, like these people like Queen. Like it was a Queen concert, you know. It was Brian May was there, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, man, those guys are assholes.
Anyway,
moving on with our next story. Get ready for an epic black metal album. Now we talked about this thing that was done a couple of years ago when it first came out with Matt Heafy, Ishan, Negrao, and Gal. Back in the day, it was just a rumor kind of thing going around, but Matt Heafy was questioned about it. He is from Trivium, if you don't know, the band that had obviously we talked about only seconds ago. So when Matt Heafy was asked about this awesome all-star production team, he said, "Now Ishan is producing my black metal project. It's called Mrityu." Okay, so if anyone knows the spelling for that, Mrityu. Sorry. He's co-written several songs. We're finally kind of piecing that all together. He's got 8 or 9 songs written on it. Sounds like he's doing a lot of the work. So if we've got 8 or 9 songs written and he's helping out with it, he's producing the whole thing, co-writing some of it as well. Okay, well there you go. It's going to get some of a hero of mine in the black metal on every single song. So Ishan's going to do some vocals. Negrao's going to do some vocals. If you can ask the Negrao from the Demigod album to help you out, that'd be great. The newer stuff. It's your record. Gal, I think as well. I probably would have gotten someone a little bit more interesting.
I think he's there wants to get more people lined up. So it might be like the guy from Lamb of God's album, where literally every song has a different singer. Maybe he's going to try going for that.
Get Eric Peterson to help write a song and do some vocals for you as well, because that'd be sick. Because he can write really good guitars. In fact, maybe just get Eric Peterson to write the album for you. But tell him to do a Dragonlord album, but not like the Dragonlord album he did. But it was a good album, but it wasn't really black metal.
Could be better, right?
Yeah, it could have been better. You know, get into the follow-up Rapture album. That's what you do. As far as that goes, though, in the black metal scene, I mean, like, just got to get the guys from Immortal to help you out. I'd imagine a bunch of others. But Satyricon will help you out. Yeah, that's cool. Don't worry about the guys from Abath, because they're not black metal anymore. That's a lie. That's a lie, man. That's a lie. All right, guys, and with that, we end our show. So if you guys have a news story if you want us to cover for next week, head over to our Facebook.com, or just leave a comment in the comments as well in YouTube. Facebook.com/metalbro. And with that, that's the end of our show next week, Danny.
It is. What a week of metal.
We'll see you guys in the next one.